Let's see how I can go from this to this with the sheer foundation. Hi, I'm GloryB and this is GloryB-TV, a lifestyle channel for mature women who want to look fabulous, feel amazing, and age gracefully. Well, I think I'm aging gracefully. I'm 63 years old at the filming of this video, 63 and a half. So yeah, 6 more months till I'm 64 and that Beatles tune is going to be in my head. I have been trying this and trying different applications with the Estee Lauder Double-Wear Sheer Foundation. I have the full coverage foundation in 3 colors. The sheer I only have in 1 color. What I would really call a more of a cool tone color. So let's see how it goes on. I want to show you how I apply it differently than I do the full coverage foundations in order to make it look good right away and last all day, of course, especially in summer when it's hotter. I'm going to start with no makeup on and do a full face of makeup. I'll be fast forwarding through a lot of the application, but if there's something I want to tell you about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, I will say that out loud. Everything I'm wearing today, all the products I'm showing and mentioning, are in the description box below the video. So to get to the description box, you need to scroll down below the video. You don't really need to scroll, just look below the video. And wherever you see the word more, tap it or click it. On a phone or a tablet, you have to tap the word more twice. Then open it up and scroll through to the section called Products Shown or Mentioned. Everything is there. All right, let's get right to my tutorial for sheer foundation. All right, here we are, and it is summer. I'm going to start with my City Lips Lip Plumper Gloss in Clear. And before I add lip color later, I'll remove this. Now I'm going to begin my face. I have plenty of tissue here with me. And I'm going to start by correcting my under eye tear troughs with my Pixie by Petra corrector in the Brightening Peach. They have 2 colors of corrector. This is not a concealer, but I use it to conceal things. And if the 2 colors that these come in aren't enough for you, Bobbi Brown also sells a corrector in the Bobbi Brown line that comes in a lot of colors. But it's a lot more expensive. It's like twice the price for the amount you get. I can take whatever is left over on the brush, this is just a little elf brush, and I can touch up some spots that I want to cover. Any redness, anything that's just off. More and more of my sunspots are starting to show up in this part of my face. Now I'm ready for the Estee Lauder Double-Wear in the sheer. Now, in the regular full coverage, I have this in 3 different colors, like a summer color, a winter color, and then something in between. So this one is actually what I would call more my winter color. It's more of a cool. So let's see how this goes. It comes in this plastic bottle with, yeah, it's kind of like a tube. And it's much more liquidy than the regular Double-Wear. So I'm just going to take small amounts and dot this around. I like to smear it around my face first before I use any other kind of applicator I have freckle-faced, I have different colors on my skin, which you might be able to see through the camera. Now the interesting thing is, with all of my full coverage foundations, I'm really liking, after I smear on the foundation on my face, I'm really liking using a slightly damp beauty blender, and it's making the full coverage foundation look really good. But in these sheer ones, I don't like how these work with it because it takes off too much product and then I have to add more. So I'm going to skip this beauty blender, and I'm going to just go right for what I call my stipple brush. This is a flat edge brush that I really like from e.l.f. Just cost a few dollars, and I just start buffing this out around the edges. And since I put stuff on my lips, I'm a little careful around there. And of course, because I just put the corrector on the under eye and I put some foundation over it, I want to be careful around that and not get rid of all of that corrector work I just did. And then, because of my age, 63, I need to see more close up. So I'll use a 10x mirror and double check how this is looking where my pores are larger, which is my nose and on both sides of my nose, which with a full coverage foundation and a damp beauty blender, I can really get that makeup to set nicely in those areas where my pores are larger. But I have to check in this mirror, and it actually is looking really, really good. So yeah, this foundation is really great if you like a more natural look, if you don't like a full coverage look, or if you're just looking for something lighter in the summer. And you can see it's not glowy, but it's also not matte. So I'm not going to have a dry look later in the day. Next, I still am doing a concealer, but as more of a brightener. I'm using the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape, and I'll put the color below. I think it's 20B. And for this, it has a doe foot. I'm just going to tap dots under my eye and in that inner corner. And for this, I am going to use the damp beauty blender. And I need a better mirror, because the one I'm using here, the regular mirror I'm using, is 5 times magnification. This one that you can see here. I like the creamy, the ultra creamy, because it doesn't settle into my lines when I apply it this way, and you'll see in a moment I'm going to set it. But the other thing is, this line has a lot of nice colors, so they're not yellowish. You can get one that's toward yellow, but there are a lot of colors. In fact, I have another Shape Tape color that's way too light for me. That's still in my drawer. I haven't given it away yet. Just someone who's more fair. But again, I was just looking for that highlighting, brightening look. Now, before I set that, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to do a little bit of contouring with the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour stick. This is in the color Mink. The reason I like it is because it's not an orangey brown. It's more of a taupey. So I do a little bit in here. I really get those gels. Somebody wrote a comment on one of my recent videos saying that I must have had plastic surgery because I don't have gels. I haven't had plastic surgery on my face, and I do have gels. I just I'm working on them with a couple devices that I use to minimize them, because I don't go to an esthetician for professional services for that. So my LUMO device works on that area, but also makeup. So I'm also using another flat stipple style brush. I believe they still sell this one. This is Eco Tools. And then I have one more brightening product that, you know, I probably could use the Shape Tape for this, but this is the Emlyn Under Eye Cover Cream. This lasts for like 4 years and stays creamy the whole time. I'm just going to take a little bit of it and put a dab here on either side of my nose, and I'm going to brighten that area. And it's surprising how a little bit of this does so much. I have another flat brush here, and I'm just blending that out. All right, now I'm ready to set the under eye area. So to set this under eye, I'm going to start with a makeup setting spray. This is the Urban Decay, but you can use any makeup setting spray. I'm going to spray the back of my hand with one little poof. I'm just going to put a little bit of that on a ring finger and tap that under eye area, and then do the other one. And I'm going to keep tapping until it's just almost dry, but not quite. Then I'm going to use, this time I'm using the NYX HD Finishing Powder in the translucent, and a little brush, another e.l.f. brush. Just put a little bit of that on. And you can see I'm hardly putting any product on. And that is it. And that under eye will stay all day. And I don't know how close up I'm looking at my monitor here to see if you can see how smooth that is. Yeah, and I'm 63. So I a little bit of Botox in January. It's now June. So, you know, the older we get, the faster that wears off. So it's, yeah, this is my skin. From my skincare and my diet, ladies. All right, now I'm ready to put a little bit of the same powder with a big fluffy brush on my cheeks. I do powder blush. And when I'm on camera, I do this part of my nose and that, because if I don't, I just look shiny. So I'm wearing pink today, so I'm going to do 2 pink blushes. I have MAC. This is the MAC. They call this Blush Baby. Then they don't sell the color anymore. But anyway, they have other nice pinks, and this is just a matte pink. And then I'll buff that out a little bit. And now I'm going to go in with a shimmer one. I love the shimmers. This is the Milani. This has lasted a long time. And the Rose Diorio. I'll put a little bit of that on top. And buff that out. All right, now I'm ready for eyes. I'm going to go with kind of a brown taupey thing today. And I'm going to start with a brown eyeliner. I can't tightline. People have been writing me recently saying, you should tightline. I can't, because if I do, my eyes will start watering and the makeup will go away. I've even done some under here before. It goes away in like 5 minutes. So between tearing and my eyes getting upset, you know, it's just not worth it. So once I put my makeup on, I want it to last all day. When I was a teenager, I had to reapply stuff. I remember eyeshadow getting creasy on me, and that doesn't happen to me anymore. So anyway, yeah, this is the Lancome. Their kohl pencils are great. They start out really, really long, so you can tell this is something I love, but I usually use 2 hands to stretch out my eye. It will on a 5X. And I can do a little bit of a wing because I don't have hooded eyes, but I know women who have hooded eyes, YouTubers included. Oh, I usually don't do that either. Who don't even wear eyeliner anymore because it's just messy for how their eyes look. The other thing I will do is go over that. I was using a tiny little brush for this, but I have some brushes from Reffer that I'm just absolutely loving. It's a Japanese brand, and I have this little one here. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to dip into some dark brown and go over that line I just did. And I'm going to use this Smashbox. This is the Cover Shop Minimalist that comes in. They have a set of browns, warm colors over here, and taupey grays charcoals over here. So I'll dip into that brown and get some of it off, and then I'm just going to go over. And then I'm going to take what's left over in the brush and line the lower lid just between the third and halfway. Brows are next. I have the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the color taupe. I will speed this up because I think you know what I'm doing. So I used to have really nice, dark, thick, from the Greek side of the family, eyebrows. Super dark to go with my super dark hair because I am a brunette. And just over time, the hairs got thinner. They're not, once in a while I see a thick one and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what my brows used to look like. But now they're thinner and I have less of the hair. So it's really nice that it's in style now to do your brows. And I love this one. This one is nice because it's not too hard, it's not too soft. You know, when they're too soft, they go on and you just get too much product on and it's hard to fix that. But this one is the right consistency and it's thin. It's easy to correct mistakes if you make one. And then after I do that, I like to use the spoolie end to just go over it and make it look more natural. Now I'm ready for eyeshadow and a combination of things. So I have my Z palette, which has a whole bunch of my own kind of colors that I put together, and my Smashbox. I also brought a couple Urban Decays that are single shadows, this one in a taupey matte and this one in a shimmer, but I'll see what I feel like. So anyway, one of my favorites is this Anastasia, you can tell here, this Anastasia color in Fresh, and it's just a matte creamy. It's great for the base. As I put that on, I was debating, okay, what color do I want to put in that transition area above the crease? So I have this one here. This is also an Anastasia called Stone. And for a while, I wasn't even using it. I thought it looked too khaki in the pan, but now I really like it. I'm using a Reffer brush here and just dipping it in there. And this is Stone from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm just going above the crease and into the crease. Well, maybe what I'll do with the Urban Decay color, this is in the color Tease, is take a little angled brush and I'm going to put that right in this in the outer V basically. Sometimes I'll go for 2 shimmer colors on the lid with a darker color in the outer third of the mobile lid and then a lighter color, but it's summer, it's warm out today, and I think I'm just gonna go for a lighter color. I think Anastasia Beverly Hills, I think their colors are cheaper than the Urban Decay. So this one, if I could get it to, this one is called Vermeer. This is a nice shimmer. And the Anastasia Beverly Hills come ready to open up and put into a Z palette. These Urban Decays, I used to be able to depot them. And the last time I tried to depot one of these, it broke. So don't try to depot them. They're really glued in there tightly. Okay, so I'm using Vermeer. Now I'm going to do 2 highlighting tricks for my eyes. One is the Stila, it's an eyeliner, but it's in the color Abalone. And I just put it in this inner corner here and then smear it out with a finger. And then I lose my mirror over here. And it just grabs the light during the day in a subtle way. That's what I love about that one. Then I have one that I don't think I've demoed yet on a video. So this is the Benefit highlighter in the color Cookie. I use a really, really thin, tiny brush, and I just dip it in here a little bit. And then I put it in that very, very inner corner. You could use your finger for this if you want. I don't have that kind of confidence yet. And just dip it in just a little bit. Okay. And see how that looks. All right. Now for mascara, I'm going to put on the Benefit Roller Lash in the upper lashes and the Maybelline Full and Soft on my lower lashes. I'll do that off camera and I'll be right back. Here is the finished look close up. And here it is from further away. So don't forget to go to the description box below the video to check out the products. Everything I'm wearing is listed there, including this Estee Lauder Sheer. I think you'll like it. A lot of stores you can get a sample. Of course, all stores that sell it will have testers, so you can get some help getting the right color. But some of them, some department stores will send you home with a little bottle of it so you can see how much you like it. And that will last for days. So yeah, check it out, and then check out one of my other videos by tapping its image on the right side of your screen, and I'll see you in the next video.